Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook on Friday the 1st of February. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first. In fact, before I do that, let's just check the news this morning that's coming out 9:30. We've got the manufacturing PMI for the UK. Really important at the moment is manufacturing. A lot of these numbers are more important than normally are because they're focused on numbers, particularly for the euro, US, and US at the moment. But so UK. Still an important number at 9:30. We'll see how that works out. Manufacturing PMI. Eurozone, we've got the flash inflation as well at 10 o'clock. I mean, I think we've already been given a sort of a pre-warning that those figures could come in a bit soft. So we'll see how that is. But it doesn't look like inflation is building anywhere. In fact, it looks like the forecast is around about 1.4 and the core figure just 1%. So soft data there indeed, if it comes out in along those lines. Talking of soft data, we've then got the non-farms. Non-farms is the biggest number of the one of the biggest numbers of the month in normal circumstances. However, we got to that point of alleged fall employment some time back, and it is just really looking at the average hourly earnings. It's expected to drop down a point, so 0.3 is the expectation or forecast for this time. And the actual change in employment expected to just come in around about 165. So we may see a bit of volatility around it, as I'm sure we will, but I don't think, unless something significant in that number, we have a big drop in hourly earnings, I don't think we're going to see too much volatility today somehow, but there we go. So let's have a look at the markets then. The euro was a difficult one yesterday. I was talking about how to trade it, and looking particularly for the break here. Now it broke quite early, and then we sat there, and it went almost immediately at 8 o'clock, and I'm always skeptical, always a bit worried and I say worried, but I'm always a bit dubious when it goes like that, because it's almost like a bit of program selling. It may whatever it may be, but we did wait, and we did get back into a position, and boy did we wait. In fact, how long did we wait? He says, what is this going over there? It's moved across. Let's just move that. Whoa, back here. We got in a trade, short, 8:36. I was late leaving for school, look. And we okay, 10 o'clock, we took half off for 20 pips. It hit the first target. Final target hit 36 pips. Well, actually, Governor said boom. 1607 actually was the final. We actually got hit, but it was a long old wait. But there are points in these markets at the moment, so it did happen. In fact, it went on beyond. So Fisher was a bit disappointed. He wasn't a bit more greedy, but seriously. There are points now. What for today then? Well, I am looking, of course, at the daily pivot that's above us at the moment, but maybe just to sell into. It's a bit iffy at the moment, but that said, it is sitting on the main monthly pivot here. With the snow out there, I do wonder if it will be a bit of a quiet start this morning. We'll have to track it and see, but I sort of always like to see if it will pitch up here back towards that 1465, 66 area. If it hits that, then I'll assess whether to sell into it. If it was to break the monthly pivot early on, well, I'd be looking towards the prior lows there. Maybe the just start off at the S1 there, but that's what I'm looking at the moment. This lower high that's come in and whatever else is a bit of weakness, but we'll just see how this market kicks off. Statistically, got a good chance of pushing up there. Okay, the pound, well, shooting star, and a bit of a lesser of a day, very choppy at times. It has been like this all week, and it's been difficult to look for trades. It's yesterday again, it did the same thing in terms of breaking its trend line, but it just chopped and went up higher at one stage. Finally came back to where would have been initial targets. Never actually, well, it already hit the first target up there actually. So yeah, a choppy old day yesterday. difficult to read. This morning, looking at it, well, we could just edge up into the pivot towards that 200. We'll see how it is. It's effectively put a lower high in through the Asian session there, so I'm looking to see if it can edge up a bit further, and I'll look at it when it's there. May look to see if it sells back down to the early morning lows there, the Asian session lows, but a bit bitty. I think it may be a case of waiting for non-farms on that. If you're going to trade it, I'd rather stick with the euro, to be fair. Dollar yen's seeing a bit of a recovery. Let's just go back to the dailies here. Had sold, I say the dollar had sold off quite a bit against the yen there. It still could. I like the fact the monthly pivot's below us there. Maybe a draw at some point, but for now it's edging back up, as you can see from this 4-hourly chart here, and well, 60-minute chart edging up. Already hit daily pivot. One could be a decent opportunity. That 200 moving, that's a 30-minute 200. Really should have changed this to a 60-minute chart, but it matters little. There'll be something up there. Oh, the 50 is in the way there, but that may just slow things down a bit. But we could if it gets any momentum behind it this morning, edge up at some point. But again, non-farm payrolls may stall things and slow things down. It's often, if you don't get it in the first thing in the morning, we've got to wait until that data's out. Aussie dollar, it's okay, so there's a couple of targets down below, certainly the monthly pivot at some point. It's finally run into that daily 200. Pity it didn't do it from a break earlier on in the month. When it was edging up there, it would have looked quite good, but currently looking like it, well, heading south at the moment for sure. There was on, I think, the RSI, a bit of divergence running across those highs, yeah. So it's looking a bit soft at the moment, and it's already through its daily pivot S1. Well, it could just drift off, but more likely to do what it normally does, is just chop in a slow shoal movement this morning until we get the non-farms out. Pretty similar story through some of these now. The Canadian dollar, it's found support off its daily 200 there, but well, it looks like it's actually managing to move away a little bit. It's got the monthly pivot above, which could be a draw. Let's just have a quick look at what oil's doing, because it's one of the big numbers for it. Oil's okay. Oil's edging up a little bit. That should be at some stage bringing the US dollar, Canadian dollar back down again. We'll see. But it has got some targets. It may get caught early-ish in the month. We often see the monthly pivot caught, so watching for that. However, when you look at this 4-hourly picture, it really tells a story. It's struggling to get back up. Then on here, it's sort of spike selling off, spike selling off. It may be struggling a little bit. Maybe if it does get up to the something like that 4-hourly 21, it could be a sell almost. Looking at the lower time frames here, down to 60 minutes. Well, it's such a tight range. I stay choppy as anything, and it may, again, as I said, just do very much the same. No Canadian employment data this week. We normally have it along with the non-farms. It's probably going to be next week then. So could be a quietish day for the Canadian dollar until the information comes out later. So let's see. As I say, euro to me still looks possibly the better option. We'll see how this runs this morning. Opportunity to try and play it towards the upside. We'll just watch the shorter time frames post 8 o'clock. It doesn't look like there's a lot of pips in it, I would say, but it may not even be worth trading it. I'm just looking at the where we are there. It's sitting there at 14.48, 58.60. Oh, it's nearly 20 pips. It might be on. Let's have a look at it, as I say, post 8 o'clock. Right, okay, and of course it could push through there, I should say. If it does start getting some momentum, start pushing through there, I would be watching it quite carefully, probably manually taking profits as opposed to just setting limits. Have a great day, a great weekend. I'll be back Monday. Bye for now.